All right, this is a quick video on a boom build. There's lots of these. Well, not lots of these, but I think there's different flavors of these types of builds. Really, it's just high explosive damage and then bleed damage from the stinger hive. This one in particular uses the your talents are what really makes this powerful. So glass cannon, the vile mask, and then creeping death on a backpack. And it's 3-piece China light, so that you get 15% explosive damage, 20% skill haste, and 25% status effects. With the hive, because of bleed, you get the status effects, and then creeping death. When you apply a status effect, it applies to all enemies within 8 meters of your target, and then the cooldown is 15 seconds. So, especially if there's a group of them or whatever, like it'll spread that bleed around a little bit. And then your vile mask, which gives you status effects, Hasbro, but that toxic delivery gives you a damage over time debuff for 10 seconds. Total damage dealt is equal to 50% of your concussion grenade damage and increased by your status effect attributes. So again, having a few status effect attributes, the extra damage, explosive damage, things like that, this just helps add to that. And then your 2-piece grupo sombra gives you 30% critical hit damage, but more important, it gives you 20% explosive damage. And then here I have skill damage. Ideally, I'd want, instead of repair skills, either a skill haste or a status effect, even if I wanted, would give me even more status effect, give me even more damage. And then I have skill haste mods all around on this. This one has skill haste. But since grupos are damage focused gear pieces, they come with red cores, so you're going to have to roll a skill tier on. So that's, you're not going to ever find one with a skill tier. So you have to get it with the right rolls otherwise, including talent if you want to have a skill tier. And then in this case, we're using demolitionist. Again, this gives you, we'll hop over here. Everyone gets demolitionist out the gate. So the good news is, even if you're a newer player or you haven't maximized all your specializations yet, you can still use this one. So anyways, you'll have, you can ignore explosions once. It'll refill, gives you pulse resistance. But you can increase burn resistance as well. Your armor kits help, are a little bit more powerful. And then you have 10% increased explosive damage. So this affects explosive grenades, skills, and effects. That's really where this helps. And then, of course, you have your special ammo, specialization ammo that you'll pick up along the way. So you can drop a few well-placed grenade launcher grenades on folks and watch them pop. So that's kind of the key to it. And then here you want to use the cluster seeker mines, mostly because you want the spread of those to go around here. You have 6 tiers. So you have 60% damage increase, plus you have 6 cluster mines. In this case, I have perfectly rolled damage on 2 of these, so I get 10% extra damage, and then +1 on the cluster mine, so I can have up to 7 of them. I do have 29% expertise on this, so it does do 29% more damage. Even if you don't have your expertise leveled up, this is still pretty powerful. And then the other skill here is the stinger hive. In this case, I only have a 4.9% damage, 10% health, just lasts a little longer, +4 stinger charges, you get that a lot. There isn't much, I mean, I could do duration instead, but these tend to exhaust. You run out of stingers usually before it runs out, or if nobody's walking into it, you're going to tear it down and let it regenerate. But again, 6 tiers here. So +6 stinger charges, 120% damage, increased range, increased drone speed, so those stingers move fast. And then it has a lot more health, so if people are shooting it or NPCs are shooting it or launching things at it, it's a lot more durable. Again, mine's at a 30%, not the end of the world. I would recommend, if you do have some expertise, apply it where you can. These are heavily in printer filament, which can be hard, but especially in your gear pieces, getting to 12 on expertise, once you have proficiency, is relatively low cost on resources. And that just gives you extra armor. So you can see I have 813k armor, but without these 12% all the way around, I'd be down at like 700 or something like that. I run the named Emmeline's Guard here because of preservation, perfect preservation. So I do get killing an enemy repairs 50% over 5 seconds, headshot kills. Improve that. So has a high fire rate. Damage is not anything to write home about. But if they're bleeding or well damaged by a grenade, and like you have a rusher coming at you and you've taken some damage, this is a good way to get back some health without burning a med kit. But you just can't be aggressive because you're not going to put out enough damage. I have the capacitor because of the 6 tiers. I'll do more damage. Plus, if I shoot enemies with it, I can build more skill damage. If you're using this on legendary, it might be hard to get shots off because you'll be doing so much damage from the explosives. They'll come at you. Same thing if you're running solo content. And glass cannon makes you super fragile, right? Like if they just sneeze on you, your armor's broken for the most part. So you really don't want to be in a situation where you're putting yourself at risk because if you're in a group, you're going to get dropped fast, or you're just going to have to backtrack because you're going to take so much damage. But glass cannon is huge here because all your damage is amplified by 25%, but your damage you take is 50%. Sometimes that can be offset with season modifiers, but they're off in this case. These things are all farmable. Vial mask drops, at least for me, relatively frequently. If you don't get the vial mask, it's not the end of the world. You could have to think about what you could swap in here, but you could do something that gives you more skill damage. So I think like a wyvern one piece will give you like 8%, something like that. Let's see, do I have a wyvern here? Yeah, so a wyvern out the gate, one piece is 8% skill damage, so you could at least get more skill damage there. And that would help. If you don't have that. And then again, if you don't have the capacitor, not a big deal, but you could use something like InSync as a talent on a gun. It could be on a SMG, it could be on an AR, it could be on a rifle, because that InSync is kind of back and forth, right? So if you are shooting things, your weapon's going to do more damage, but also your skills are going to do more damage as long as they're active. So if you throw the hive out, you could add a little damage to it. It's not going to be perfect, but it could work. I have a pistol with InSync. So yeah, that's pretty much this build. We'll just run to the range real quick here. I know this isn't perfect because you're not taking, nobody's shooting at you here. Let's just throw this out here. Very hard. Cool. All right. Whoop. So in most cases, you're going to be hiding, but if you're the first person in a room and you're in a team and you just make sure nobody shoots, you can usually run up, huck your hive out, and then run back, maybe drop your seekers. But like, you can just look at the damage it does right there. It's like, and then, okay, they're just bleeding. Let's watch them all bleed out for the most part from that creeping death. Okay, didn't get them all, but that's all right. Get throw the seekers out. And we'll just do the seekers here once this cools down. It's hard to see since this one's more about time instead of damage focused. You have to watch real carefully for the numbers on the screen. But we basically took out. Oh, one left. The InSync's still procced. But yeah, you couple these up, you can take them out all pretty quick. We can try and see if we can get some, let's see, elite, named. Let's get this guy up close. All right, let's see what this does here. funny. See ya. Took all those guys out. So yeah, we can try and run out real quick. Trying to keep this one short. Let's see where we can go. That I'll try not to die. This might take a while. I probably won't run the whole control point, but just enough for you to see how you can use this run around. And then, you know, with the season modifiers, there's almost always something that gives some boost to skill builds, gives you some benefits. Oh, this is going to be nice. Let me just run in. Doop, don't mind me. I'm a friendly. Don't worry about it. Uh-oh. Swear to die. Oh, that was hilarious. I panicked. We'll run back to the control point since I promised that's what I would do. I thought I would show off, and that's what happens. I thought I could be aggressive, pick up that hive, but then I tried to do the quick med kit, and I made a mistake. And that's unfortunate. And then after this, I'll once it processes, I'll get this up on YouTube as well. We could try with these guys. How about that? I keep deviating from the plan. Do not go into that room. Man.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Eat that.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Ooh.
I got you.
You stop wasting time. Bleed. Uh-oh. It can be pretty brutal. The glass cannon is the thing that makes life really hard for you. Wow, they're sending everything out right now. Especially with these rushers, those baton weaving rushers, like if they catch up to you, you're in trouble. Wow.
Incoming hostiles detected.
So the thing is, those stingers will save you from like drones and stuff like that. That's seekers. The hive will save you from drones. Medic. Too bad all those stingers are getting wasted on those cars. 4.2 million. What's funny is there's a resource convoy, but they're not coming out. There we go.
Friendly combatants nearby. Detecting additional hostile contacts.
So fragile. It's funny, I seem to be getting the preservation benefit just by holding the gun. Oh, watch when they die. Look, there comes my armor. I thought preservation only worked if you killed with the gun. So, there you go. Not sure if that's intended. Maybe it's always been that way. I just never felt like preservation ever worked that way for me.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
This is where it could get ugly if they send a big boy, which I think they are. I could be in real trouble. Oh no. Sniper. Even better. Got a couple of them.
Friendly combatants nearby.
One division asshole down.
I'll take it. Alright, I mean, it's not the fastest way to clear a control point, but if you want to do something different and use a boom build, or you're in group play, and you're somebody that's helping create a lot of damage for your team, and you got the other guys doing DPS and tanky type things, it's definitely a way to do it. So again, you got 3-piece China Light, 2 grupos, a vial. Capacitor is not required by any means. Emmeline's Guard isn't specifically required, but preservation was a benefit. Creeping Death, Glass Cannon. If you don't have the vial mask, do like a Wyvern, that'll give you another 8%. Skill damage, clusters, Stinger Hive. Again, you could use anything. You could use another rifle of some sort with in-sync. In this case, I have a pistol.
Friendly combatants
I'm going to be a coward and hide up top, probably. And we'll finish this up with just wrapping up the control point and call it day. Well, for now.
en route. Incoming hostiles detected.
See if I can get...
Whoa, going on our tour.
Oops. Oh my god.
Friendly combatants.
Hilarious. That's not good. Hmm.
Friendly combatants detected.
Ay, ay, ay.
Vital signs critical. Friendly combatants combined. Heavily armored hostile detected.
Oh, suck it up! We can hit him hard! I'm out of ammo!
Serious trauma detected.
Hmm. Gonna have to use a medkit.
Stupid piece of crap!
You're the stupid piece of crap.
Friendly combatants detected.
All right. Well, we did it. It worked.
Supply room access unlocked.
Let's just see if we got an exotic component.
You really saved us back there.
Hey, and part today's objective. Nope. All right. Once again, that's the build. Hopefully, this helps somebody out there. If you've found a better build, love to hear what you're using. Otherwise, take it easy. Be well. GG.